Adidas egg German pronunciation, stylized in all lowercase since 1949, is a German athletic apparel and footwear corporation headquartered in Herzogenaurach, Bavaria, Germany. It is the largest sportswear manufacturer in Europe and the second largest in the world, after Nike. It is the holding company for the Adidas Group, which also owns an 8.33% stake of the football club Bayern Munich, and Rantastic, an Austrian fitness technology company. Adidas's revenue for 2024 was listed at €23.683 billion. The company was started by Adolf Dassler in his mother's house. He was joined by his elder brother, Rudolf, in 1924 under the name Gebrüder Dassler Schuhfabrik, Dassler Brothers Shoe Factory. Dassler assisted in the development of spiked running shoe spikes for multiple athletic events. To enhance the quality of spiked athletic footwear, he transitioned from a previous model of heavy metal spikes to utilizing canvas and rubber. Dassler persuaded U.S. sprinter Jesse Owens to use his handmade spikes at the 1936 Summer Olympics. In 1949, following a breakdown in the relationship between the brothers, Adolf created Adidas and Rudolf established Puma, which became Adidas's business rival. The three stripes are Adidas's identity mark, having been used on the company's clothing and shoe designs as a marketing aid. The branding, which Adidas bought in 1950 from Finnish sports company Karhu Sports, for the equivalent of €1,600 and 2 bottles of whiskey, became so successful that Dassler described Adidas as the Three Stripes Company. The company was founded by Adolf Adi Dassler, who made sports shoes in his mother's scullery or laundry room in Herzogenaurach, Germany after his return from World War I in July 1924. His older brother Rudolf joined the business, which became Dassler Brothers Shoe Factory Gebrüder Dassler Schuhfabrik. The electricity supply in Herzogenaurach was unreliable, so the brothers sometimes had to use pedal power from a stationary bicycle to run their equipment. Dassler assisted in the development of spiked running shoe spikes for multiple athletic events. To enhance the quality of spiked athletic footwear, he transitioned from a previous model of heavy metal spikes to utilizing canvas and rubber. In 1936, Dassler persuaded U.S. sprinter Jesse Owens to use his handmade spikes at the 1936 Summer Olympics, following Owens for gold medals. The name and reputation of Dassler shoes became known to the world's sportsmen and their trainers. Business was successful, and the Dasslers were selling 200,000 pairs of shoes every year before World War II. Both Dassler brothers joined the Nazi Party and NSDAP in May 1933 and became members of the National Socialist Motor Corps. Adolf took the rank of Sportwart in the Hitler Youth from 1935 until the end of the war. During the war, the company was running the last sport shoe factory in Germany and predominantly supplied split and rivalry with Puma. The brothers split up in 1947 after relations between them had broken down, with Adolf forming a company registered as Adidas AG from Adi Dassler on the 18th of August 1949, and Rudolf forming a new firm that he called Rudolf from Rudolf Dassler, later rebranded Puma. Urban myths have popularized to false backronyms for the name Adidas: All Day I Dream About Sports and All Day I Dream About Sex. Adidas and Puma entered into a fierce and bitter business rivalry after the split. The town of Herzogenaurach was divided on the issue, leading to the nickname. The town of bent necks people looked down to see which shoes strangers wore. Even the towns to football clubs were divided. ASV Herzogenaurach Club was supported by Adidas, while 1FC Herzogenaurach endorsed Rudolf's footwear. When handymen were called to Rudolf's home, they would deliberately wear Adidas shoes. Rudolf would tell them to go to the basement and pick out a pair of free Pumas. The two brothers never reconciled, and although they are now buried in the same cemetery, they are spaced as far apart as possible. In 1948, the first football match after World War II, Several members of the West Germany national football team wore Puma boots, including the scorer of West Germany's first post-war goal, Herbert Brodensky. 4 years later, at the 1952 Summer Olympics, 1500 meters runner Josie Barthel of Luxembourg won Puma's first Olympic gold in Helsinki, Finland. At the 1960 Summer Olympics, Puma paid German sprinter Armin Harry to wear Pumas in the 100-meter sprint final. Harry had worn Adidas before and asked Adolf for payment, but Adidas rejected this request. The German won gold in Pumas, but then laced up Adidas for the medal ceremony. To the shock of the two Dassler brothers, Harry hoped to cash in from both, but Adi was so enraged he banned the Olympic champion. The Pelt Pact was the most notable event in the Dassler brothers' feud, when both owners of Adidas and Puma agreed not to sign a sponsorship deal with Pell for the 1970 FIFA World Cup, feeling that a bidding war for the most famous athlete in the world would become too expensive, only for Puma to break the pact and sign him. Many business experts credit the brothers' rivalry and competition for transforming sports apparel into a multi-billion-pound industry. In 1952, following the 1952 Summer Olympics, Adidas acquired its signature three-stripe logo from the Finnish athletic footwear brand Karhu Sports for 2 bottles of whiskey and the equivalent of €1,600. The trefoil logo was designed in 1971 and launched in 1972, just in time for the 1972 Summer Olympics held in Munich. This logo lasted until 1997, when the company introduced the 3 bars logo that had been designed by then creative director Peter Moore, initially used on the equipment range of products. After a period of trouble following the death of Adolf Dassler's son Horst Dassler, in 1987, the company was bought in 1990 by French industrialist Bernard Tapie for €1.6 billion, now €243.9 million, which Tapie borrowed. Tapie was at the time a famous specialist of rescuing bankrupt companies, an expertise on which he built his fortune. Tapie decided to move production offshore to Asia. He also hired Madonna for promotion. He sent, from Christchurch, New Zealand, a shoe sales representative to Germany and met Adolf Dassler's descendants Amelia Randall Dassler and Bella Beck Dassler, and was sent back with a few items to promote the company there. In 1992, unable to pay the loan interest, Tapie mandated the Credit Lyonnais Bank to sell Adidas, and the bank subsequently converted the outstanding debt owed into equity of the enterprise, which was unusual as per the prevalent French banking practice. The state-owned bank had tried to get Tapie out of dire financial straits as a personal favor to Tapie. It is reported, because Tapie was Minister of Urban Affairs, Minister de la Ville in the French government at the time. Robert Louis Dreyfus, a friend of Tapie, became the new CEO of the company in 1994. He was also the president of Olympique de Marseille, a team Tapie had owned until 1993. Tapie filed for personal bankruptcy in 1994. He was the object of several lawsuits, notably related to match fixing at the football club. During 1997, he served 6 months of an 18-month prison sentence in Los Andes prison in Paris. In February 2000, Credit Lyonnais sold Adidas to Louis Dreyfus for a much higher amount of money than Tapie owed, for €0.485 billion, €683.51 million, francs, rather than to €0.85 billion, €434.479 million. In 1994, combined with FIFA Youth Group, SOS Children's Villages became the main beneficiary. In 1997, Adidas AG acquired the Salomon Group, who specialized in ski wear, and its official corporate name was changed to Adidas Salomon AG. With this acquisition, Adidas also acquired the TaylorMade Golf Company and Maxfli, which allowed them to compete with Nike Golf. In 1998, Adidas sued the NCAA over their rules limiting the size and number of commercial logos on team uniforms and team clothing. Adidas withdrew the suit, and the two groups established guidelines as to what three-stripe designs would be considered uses of the Adidas trademark. As CEO of Adidas, Louis Dreyfus quadrupled revenue to €5.84 billion, $7.5 billion, from 1993 through 2000. In 2000, he announced he would resign the following year due to illness. In 2003, Adidas filed a lawsuit in a British court challenging Fitness World Trading's use of a two-stripe motif similar to Adidas's three stripes. The court ruled that despite the simplicity of the mark, Fitness World's use was infringing because the public could establish a link between that use and Adidas's mark. In September 2004, English fashion designer Stella McCartney launched a joint venture line with Adidas, establishing a long-term partnership with the corporation. This line is a sports performance collection for women called Adidas by Stella McCartney. On the 3rd of May 2005, Adidas informed the public that they had sold their partner company, Salomon Group, for €485 million to Amer Sports of Finland. Citation any. In August 2005, Adidas declared its intention to buy Reebok for $3.8 billion United States dollar. This takeover was completed with partnership in January 2006 and meant that the company had business sales closer to those of Nike in North America. The acquisition of Reebok also allowed Adidas to compete with Nike worldwide as the number 2 athletic shoe maker in the world. In 2005, Adidas introduced the Adidas One, the first ever production shoe to use a microprocessor. Dubbed by the company the world's first intelligent shoe, it features a microprocessor capable of performing 5 million calculations per second that automatically adjusts the shoe's level of cushioning to suit its environment. The shoe requires a small, user-replaceable battery that lasts for approximately 100 hours of running. On the 25th of November 2005, Adidas released a new version of the Adidas One, with an increased range of cushioning, allowing the shoe to become softer or firmer, and a new motor with 153% more torque. In April 2006, Adidas announced an 11-year deal to become the official NBA clothing provider. The company has been making NBA, NBDL, and WNBA jerseys and products as well as team-colored versions of the superstar basketball shoe. This deal, worth over $400 million, took over the previous Reebok deal that had been put in place in 2001 for 10 years. In November 2011, Adidas announced that it would acquire outdoor action sport performance brand 510 through a share purchase agreement. The total purchase price was $25 million United States dollars in cash at closing. By the end of 2012, Adidas was reporting their highest revenues ever, and Chief Executive Herbert Hainer expressed optimism for the year ahead. Adidas now has global corporate headquarters in Herzogenaurach, Germany, and many other business locations around the world such as London, Portland, Toronto, Tokyo, Australia, Taiwan, and Spain. In January 2015, Adidas launched the footwear industry's first reservation mobile app. The Adidas Confirmed app allows consumers to get access to and reserve the brand's limited edition sneakers by using geo-targeting technology. On the 24th of March 2015, Adidas and McDonald's unveiled the 2015 McDonald's All-American uniforms. For the third year in a row, players will be wearing short-sleeve jerseys made with the same lightweight and breathable material as the ones used in the NBA. In August 2015, Adidas acquired fitness technology firm Runtastic for approximately $240 million. In May 2017, Adidas sold TaylorMade Golf Company, including Ashworth, to KPS Capital Partners for $425 million. On the 24th of March 2015, Adidas and McDonald's unveiled the 2015 McDonald's All-American uniforms. For the third year in a row, players will be wearing short-sleeved jerseys, made with the same lightweight and breathable material as the ones used in the NBA. In August 2015, Adidas acquired fitness technology firm Runtastic for approximately $240 million. In May 2017, Adidas sold TaylorMade Golf Company including Ashworth to KPS Capital Partners for $425 million. In March 2022, Adidas sold Reebok to the Authentic Brands Group for $2.5 billion. In August 2022, the company announced that CEO Casper Wurstead would step down in 2023. Bjørn Gulden became CEO in January 2023.